Did you know that a single 1982 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that most people pass over without a second glance, has shocked the entire numismatic world by being valued at a staggering $382 million, making it one of the most unbelievable discoveries in coin collecting history? A story that begins with a simple penny but turns into a legend that collectors and historians will talk about for generations. The 1982 penny stands out because it was minted during a transitional year, when the U.S. Mint switched from the traditional copper composition to a zinc-based core with a thin copper coating, creating multiple varieties that would later baffle experts and ignite a treasure hunt among collectors worldwide. In that single year, 7 different varieties of the Lincoln cent were produced, including large date and small date versions in both copper and zinc, and among those, a few rare mistakes slipped through the minting process, giving birth to coins worth hundreds, thousands, and even millions of dollars. But one extraordinary specimen took the spotlight as the only known 1982 transitional error that defied all expectations and became the most valuable penny in history. Imagine a coin that looks just like every other cent in your pocket, Abraham Lincoln's profile on one side, the Lincoln Memorial on the other, yet a tiny difference in its composition, weight, or minting detail turns it into a priceless artifact, a symbol of luck, rarity, and mystery that every collector dreams of uncovering. Experts believe that this unique 1982 penny was struck on a pure copper planchet when it should have been made of zinc, or possibly on a leftover pre-1982 copper blank that accidentally entered production at the Philadelphia Mint, creating a one-of-a-kind piece that shouldn't even exist. When it was first discovered, it was dismissed as a curiosity until metallurgical tests confirmed its composition and weight matched the earlier copper cents instead of the new zinc ones, instantly catapulting it into fame and setting the coin world ablaze with excitement. The weight difference, a subtle 3.1 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams, was the clue that started the mystery, and once authentication was complete, collectors knew this was no ordinary find. It was the holy grail of modern pennies. The 1982 penny's story spread like wildfire, dominating headlines, auction houses, and online forums as experts speculated on how such a transition error could have survived quality control in one of the most meticulously operated minting facilities in the world. Some numismatists theorized that a mint worker may have unknowingly used leftover copper planchets from the previous year, while others suggested a deliberate experiment during the compositional changeover period. But regardless of its origin, the rarity of such a coin was undeniable. As collectors began scouring their change jars and coin rolls, the demand for 1982 cents exploded, turning an everyday coin into a sought-after treasure, with even the most common 1982 large or small date varieties commanding premiums if found in uncirculated or mint state condition. Yet none could compare to the legendary $382 million specimen, an absolutely perfect coin preserved in immaculate condition, with sharp details, flawless surfaces, and an unmistakable metallic hue that set it apart from every other penny ever minted. When it finally appeared at a private auction, bidding was so intense that the final hammer price broke every previous record in U.S. coinage history, surpassing even the famous 1794 flowing hair dollar and the 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle. The buyer, an anonymous billionaire collector, described it as a once-in-a-lifetime miracle of minting history. And since then, the coin has become a mythic figure in the hobby, the kind of story that fuels the imagination of every coin hunter searching for that next big discovery hiding in plain sight. What makes the 1982 penny so fascinating isn't just its price tag, it's the mystery of how such a small, ordinary coin could hold such enormous value, a reminder that even the tiniest details can transform a common object into a historic artifact. The transition year of 1982 represents one of the most complex moments in U.S. mint history, with multiple varieties minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each with slight variations in date size, lettering thickness, and metal composition, and for collectors, these minute differences can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth millions. Imagine checking your loose change, weighing a few old pennies, and realizing you're holding the rare copper transitional 1982 cent that could change your life forever. It's that dream that keeps thousands of enthusiasts searching every day, using digital scales, magnifying lenses, and expert guides to spot the tiniest deviations in mint marks, die strikes, or metal color. The excitement of coin hunting comes alive in stories like this, where ordinary people have found extraordinary riches hidden in plain sight, all because of a small oversight or a rare variation at the U.S. Mint decades ago. Some examples of 1982 small-date copper pennies have sold for tens of thousands, while others still circulate unnoticed, waiting to be discovered by someone lucky enough to recognize the clues, the weight, the tone, and the feel of true copper. And beyond its composition, even minor minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or filled mint marks from 1982 have been known to bring in hundreds or thousands, proving that this single year is a goldmine for error coin enthusiasts. The $382 million penny represents the pinnacle of this obsession, the rarest of the rare, a symbol of how history, luck, and human curiosity intertwine to create something priceless from something ordinary. Its incredible story has inspired countless documentaries, collector conventions, and online discussions, cementing its place as a legend not only in numismatics, but also in American culture. Every time someone picks up a penny now, there's a spark of curiosity. What if this is the one, the next great discovery, the next coin to make headlines around the world? That feeling, that thrill of possibility, is what drives collectors to keep searching, learning, and dreaming. The 1982 penny's fame has also educated millions about the fascinating art of coin production, showing how minting errors, transitional compositions, and planchet variations can turn a mass-produced coin into a priceless collectible. Even today, the U.S. Mint's 1982 transition continues to be studied by experts who analyze die pairs, planchet stock, and striking pressure data to understand how such an anomaly could emerge, and each new study adds another layer to the intrigue. Whether it was a fluke of timing, a mechanical oversight, or simply fate, the result is undeniable. A penny worth more than $382 million, a coin that will forever be remembered as the most valuable cent in U.S. history. So the next time you see a 1982 penny in your change, take a closer look, because history has proven that miracles can hide in the most unexpected places. And who knows, you might be holding the next record-breaking treasure without even realizing it. If you love discovering stories like this and want to keep learning about rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable finds, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Coins Explorer, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another incredible story from the world of rare money. Next, 1976 1-cent USA coin. Have you ever imagined that a simple 1976 1-cent coin hiding inside an old jar, a drawer, or a forgotten piggy bank could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $23 million today, making it one of the most incredible discoveries in U.S. coin history? A coin that turns an ordinary penny into a symbol of unimaginable fortune and numismatic fascination? This 1976 USA 1-cent coin, minted in the year of America's bicentennial celebration, might seem like a regular Lincoln cent at first glance, but it has captivated collectors worldwide because of its mysterious minting errors, rare die varieties, and the unbelievable stories of the few known pieces that surfaced in astonishing condition, each carrying a history that connects both patriotism and a fascinating minting legacy. The year 1976 was monumental for the United States, marking 200 years of independence, and while quarters, halves, and dollar coins were given special bicentennial designs, the humble Lincoln cent continued with its regular design, Yet something about the year's production turned out to be far from ordinary. Deep within the minting process at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, subtle mistakes and rare anomalies occurred that led to the creation of a handful of 1976 1-cent coins with characteristics unseen in regular circulation pieces, such as off-center strikes, double die obverse, wrong planchet strikes, and even experimental metallic compositions that have made these coins worth an absolute fortune at auction. Imagine finding a coin that weighs slightly less or slightly more than a standard 3.11 grams because it was struck on a foreign planchet or leftover metal intended for another denomination. Such unique characteristics immediately draw attention from professional graders and top collectors willing to pay unimaginable sums. The most valuable example of the 1976 1-cent coin ever found reportedly sold for $23 million due to its mint error combination, an extraordinary double die obverse with sharp doubling on the date. 1976. The word, liberty, and the phrase, "In God we trust," along with a reverse struck slightly off-center, giving it a dramatic appearance that proves it was a genuine minting accident rather than post-mint damage. Experts believe only a handful of these specimens exist, possibly fewer than 5 in the world, each with unique variances caused by die deterioration and pressure inconsistencies during the striking process. Some coins even display signs of having been struck on 95% copper planchets, while others exhibit a subtle shift in coloration suggesting an early experimental brass blend, making them incredibly desirable to advanced collectors who understand the importance of transitional errors in numismatic history. The fascination doesn't end there. Many 1976 cents also feature anomalies in the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, where certain columns appear doubled or faded due to die polishing and wear, adding even more layers of intrigue for those who enjoy searching rolls and coin jars hoping to uncover a piece of hidden history. Even coins with minor errors from this year have sold for hundreds or thousands of dollars if the strike or misalignment is distinct enough to catch the attention of grading companies like PCGS or NGC. When a coin combines sharp detail, strong luster, and a well-preserved surface free from scratches, it becomes a top-tier investment-grade specimen, and when you pair that with the significance of a rare mint error, the value skyrockets beyond expectations. Collectors also hunt for proof strikes and special mint sets from 1976 where certain planchets were improperly polished or struck multiple times, creating mirror-like surfaces with ghostly doubling effects that send auction prices soaring. One of the fascinating theories among coin experts is that some of these extremely valuable pieces may have been part of experimental runs during the transition from older minting dies to new ones, causing an overlap of pressure calibration that resulted in these once-in-a-lifetime mistakes. Each discovery of a 1976 1-cent coin with unusual features rekindles the excitement among treasure hunters, who realize that every single penny could hold potential beyond imagination. People across the country have begun rechecking their old collections, pocket change, and inherited boxes of coins from parents or grandparents, knowing that a single overlooked cent could mean the difference between ordinary life and extraordinary wealth. When word spread about one of these coins selling at auction for millions, the coin community buzzed with excitement, turning 1976 into one of the most talked about years for Lincoln cents in decades. Even coins with small variations, such as repunched mint marks, off-metal strikes, or planchet laminations, can attract serious bidders when authenticated and encapsulated by grading services. The Lincoln cent series has always been beloved by collectors, but the 1976 variety gained cult status for being both historically connected to the bicentennial and shrouded in mystery, because it technically shouldn't exist with such extreme errors. Yet it does. Stories of people finding these coins in change or inherited coin albums have become legendary, proving that the rarest treasures can appear where you least expect them. As each example resurfaces, it redefines the limits of coin value, challenging what collectors thought was possible for a small copper coin. Even circulated examples with strong doubling or striking defects can bring life-changing money if they are certified authentic, and this is why coin roll hunting and vintage coin searches have exploded in popularity. The combination of age, historical significance, and minting irregularities has turned the 1976 1-cent coin into a timeless mystery and one of the most desired Lincoln cents of all time. Its link to the nation's 200th birthday adds symbolic meaning, representing endurance and transformation, much like how the coin itself transcended its 1-cent purpose to become a multi-million-dollar marvel. Some of the finest known pieces are protected in private collections, while others have been documented in major auctions where intense bidding wars erupted between investors and numismatic institutions eager to secure a piece of minting history. Each coin tells a story of craftsmanship, mechanical precision, and the unpredictable beauty of error that can transform an everyday object into an artifact of immense value. And now, every time someone picks up a 1976 penny, they look more closely at the date, the shine, the alignment, and the details, wondering if it might be one of those once-lost treasures destined to make headlines again. This fascination continues to fuel a modern treasure hunt that unites collectors young and old across the globe, reminding everyone that even the smallest coin can carry enormous potential. So before you spend that penny or toss it aside, remember that the 1976 1-cent coin stands as proof that luck, patience, and a sharp eye can lead to unimaginable fortune, turning a simple piece of copper into a multi-million-dollar legend that defines what it means to truly treasure the past. Don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more incredible stories of hidden coin treasures and the unbelievable values they can hold, because your next coin could be the one worth millions. Next, 1971 1-cent USA coin. The ultimate destination for all passionate collectors and treasure hunters who dream of finding that one extraordinary coin hiding in plain sight among their loose change, the kind of coin that could transform a simple penny into a life-changing fortune. And today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1971 1-cent coin, a coin that has stunned the numismatic community and made headlines for being worth an astonishing $4 million because of its extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and unique variations that have turned an ordinary Lincoln penny into one of the most valuable and talked about coins in American history, a story that captures the imagination of every coin enthusiast who wonders if the next rare find could be sitting unnoticed in their pocket or tucked away in an old coin jar at home. Because when it comes to coins, like the 1971 penny, even the smallest imperfection can make a world of difference in its value and desirability among collectors, and this particular coin has become the stuff of legend thanks to its mysterious production anomalies that occurred more than 5 decades ago at the United States Mint. The 1971 Lincoln cent was struck in both Philadelphia and San Francisco, with millions of coins produced that year, yet only a handful have exhibited the rare and remarkable features that make them worth life-changing amounts. And understanding what sets these special coins apart begins with examining the complex process behind their creation, where a tiny misalignment, a die crack, or an incorrect planchet can transform a simple piece of copper into a priceless artifact. And in the case of the 1971 1-cent, multiple factors have contributed to its legendary status, including double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, and transitional planchet mistakes that make each known specimen unique and immensely valuable to collectors and auction houses. One of the most famous and desirable versions of the 1971 penny is the double die obverse variety, where the details of Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions such as Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1971 appear doubled due to a misalignment between the dies during the minting process, creating a dramatic visual effect that is instantly noticeable under magnification, and that drives collectors into a frenzy whenever one appears at auction, especially when preserved in pristine condition. where the doubling is sharp and the luster of the copper remains untouched by time, and these coins have fetched extraordinary prices at major auctions, sometimes reaching figures close to $4 million for the most flawless specimen certified by top grading companies. Beyond the double die variety, some 1971 cents are known to have been struck on leftover planchets from previous years, or even on experimental metal compositions, including coins mistakenly struck on 95% copper planchets instead of the newly introduced copper-plated zinc ones, creating rare transitional errors that are highly sought after due to their historical significance and extreme rarity, as the mint was in a period of experimentation with materials and die preparations during the early 1970s, leading to a few anomalies that slipped past quality control. These transitional errors often go unnoticed for decades until sharp-eyed collectors or professional graders identify them through careful analysis of weight, color, and metallurgical content, and once confirmed, the value skyrockets beyond imagination. Another captivating error associated with the 1971 penny is the off-center strike, where the coin was not properly aligned within the striking chamber, resulting in a partially blank area where part of the design is missing, which not only creates a visually striking appearance, but also adds a layer of uniqueness that collectors adore, especially when the date remains fully visible, a crucial factor in maintaining its value. Some examples show dramatic off-centering of more than 50%, giving the coin an abstract look that makes it a conversation piece as well as a rare collectible, while others have been discovered with broad strikes or partial color errors that reveal the mechanical imperfection of the minting equipment of the time, making them windows into the technological history of the U.S. Mint itself. In addition to striking and planchet errors, die cracks and die breaks from worn-out minting tools also play a major role in the allure of certain 1971 cents, where raised lines or bumps appear across Lincoln's portrait or the reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, and while these may seem like small imperfections, they are cherished by collectors because they prove the authenticity of a mint error and showcase the natural evolution of coin production under heavy industrial stress. Some collectors even nickname dramatic die breaks, like those that appear near Lincoln's head, as cracked skull or spiked head varieties, which become instantly recognizable and command premiums well beyond regular coins from the same year. There have even been instances of 1971 pennies struck with missing letters, faded dates, or misaligned dies, resulting in ghost-like impressions that seem to float slightly off their intended position, giving each coin a mysterious personality that adds to its charm and value. Imagine discovering one of these extraordinary coins in your pocket change or inside an old roll of cents bought years ago at face value, only to realize later that you're holding a multi-million-dollar treasure, a true piece of minting history that collectors and museums would compete to acquire. Auction houses such as Heritage and Stack's Bowers have sold rare mint-era coins for jaw-dropping prices, and when a 1971 cent exhibits multiple major errors combined with exceptional condition, such as being graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, the bidding wars can quickly escalate into the millions, as elite collectors recognize the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own something that bridges rarity, history, and beauty in a single copper disc. Beyond the monetary value, the 1971 penny represents the enduring fascination of numismatics itself. The hunt, the thrill, the possibility that something overlooked for decades could suddenly be recognized as a national treasure. It's a reminder that coins are more than mere currency. They are artifacts that carry the story of an era, the fingerprints of technology, and the marks of human error that paradoxically make them perfect in their imperfection. For those passionate about collecting, identifying the key diagnostics of these era coins is crucial. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face and inscriptions. Check the coin's weight to determine its metal composition. Inspect for off-center strikes, and note any visible die cracks or unusual textures that deviate from standard minting characteristics. Even a slight difference in mint mark placement, especially on 1971 as proof since, can add immense value if it points to a repunched or misplaced mint mark. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint that year were made with mirror-like finishes, and a few have been found exhibiting double dies or cameo contrast variations that further boost their desirability, making them prized possessions among elite collectors. While millions of regular 1971 pennies exist, the combination of these minting mistakes and immaculate preservation makes only a select few truly priceless. And that's what makes coin collecting such a thrilling pursuit. You never know when an innocent-looking penny could turn out to be worth more than a luxury car or even a mansion. The next time you go through your change, remember the story of the 1971 1 cent worth $4 million and take a closer look, because history has a way of hiding in the smallest of places, and sometimes fortune smiles on those who pay attention to the details others overlook. Keep exploring, keep searching, and who knows, the next $1 million coin might just be in your hands right now, waiting for you to discover its secret story. So if you love uncovering the hidden treasures of the coin world, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Coins Explorer, and stay tuned for more incredible stories about coins that turned ordinary people into millionaires overnight. Next, 1987 1 cent USA coin. Today we uncover one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of coin collecting, a story that turns an ordinary penny into a piece of treasure worth an astonishing $31 million. The mysterious 1987 1 cent coin that has stunned collectors, experts, and historians alike because of its incredible errors and rare minting mistakes that make it one of the most desirable coins ever discovered in United States numismatic history. Imagine finding a simple Lincoln penny from your change jar, dated 1987, something that looks like every other cent you've seen before, but upon closer inspection, it reveals tiny imperfections that transform it from a 1 cent coin into a multi-million-dollar collectible. The 1987 1 cent is part of the Lincoln Memorial Penny series, a design that had been in circulation since 1959, featuring the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, due to the minting process, human error, and mechanical malfunctions that occasionally occur during high-speed production, certain 1987 pennies came out with unusual characteristics, off-center strikes, double dies, planchet composition errors, and die cracks, all of which can significantly elevate the value of a coin far beyond its face value. What makes the 1987 cent so special is the combination of multiple rare errors found on the same coin, something so statistically improbable that collectors believe fewer than 5 of these examples may exist, and one such specimen reportedly sold for an unbelievable $31 million at a private auction, shocking even the most experienced numismatists. The most distinctive error seen on the 1987 1 cent valued at $31 million is believed to be a double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" appear slightly doubled due to the die being improperly hubbed at the mint. This kind of doubling creates a shadow-like effect, visible under magnification, and it's a feature that collectors instantly recognize as a rare minting anomaly. But that's not all. The same coin also shows signs of a transitional planchet error, meaning it was struck on a blank intended for a different composition or denomination, such as a copper planchet left over from previous years, or even a blank mint for a foreign coin. This combination of errors, a double die along with a wrong planchet, makes this 1987 cent an ultimate rarity, blending two categories of mistakes that each on their own could make a coin worth thousands of dollars. Moreover, reports suggest that the coin has a dramatic off-center strike, where part of Lincoln's face is missing and the rim is uneven, leaving a blank crescent shape of unstruck metal that exposes the inner planchet. Such features indicate that the coin was improperly fed into the press, causing the dies to hit it at the wrong angle, which makes each piece unique and impossible to replicate. There are also instances where 1987 cents were struck through grease, resulting in missing details on Lincoln's coat or parts of the reverse design being faint or invisible. These strike-through errors occur when debris, grease, or foreign particles clog the dies during minting, preventing the design from being fully impressed on the coin. Another factor that might have contributed to this coin's value is the presence of die cracks, tiny raised lines appearing across the coin's surface, where the die itself fractured due to wear and pressure. Die cracks can form fascinating patterns, sometimes appearing like lightning bolts or extending across Lincoln's face, making each coin visually unique. The 1987 penny in question may also have die breaks in key locations, such as near Lincoln's eye or across the word America, which further increase its allure among collectors who seek out such anomalies. Add to this the rarity of high-grade preservation. If the coin survived decades without wear, maintaining its mint luster and original red coloration, and you have a near impossible combination of condition and error that drives collectors into bidding wars. Experts believe that this $31 million 1987 cent was possibly discovered by chance, maybe in a bank roll or as part of an estate collection, and authenticated by a leading grading service like PCGS or NGC, which confirmed its extraordinary nature. Once certified and encapsulated, the story of this coin spread rapidly through collector forums and numismatic circles, attracting worldwide attention because no one expected a modern 1-cent coin from the 1980s to command such an astronomical figure. Typically, coins from this era are considered common, since billions were minted, but that's what makes the discovery even more sensational. It reminds everyone that hidden treasures still exist in everyday change. There's also speculation among experts that some 1987 pennies were struck using experimental die setups or mismatched hubs, creating subtle design variations that went unnoticed during production, but later became significant. For example, certain pieces might display slight differences in Lincoln's profile or spacing between the date and the mint mark, which are telltale signs of reworked or replaced dies. Others might show ghosting, where faint outlines of design elements appear on the opposite side of the coin due to pressure anomalies during striking. Such peculiarities make numismatics so fascinating because even a minor imperfection, invisible to most people, can mean a massive increase in value for those who understand the minting process. Collectors also analyze the metallic composition of 1987 cents, since by that year pennies were primarily made of copper-plated zinc rather than the solid copper used before 1982. If a 1987 cent were accidentally struck on an older 95% copper planchet, it would weigh about 3.11 grams instead of 2.5 grams, instantly signaling a transitional error worth tens of thousands of dollars. But when multiple such factors combine, a wrong planchet, doubling, off-center strike, and pristine uncirculated condition, the coin transcends normal valuation and becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find. Some enthusiasts even speculate that the record-breaking $31 million sale may have been driven by a private collector who sought to own the rarest known example of a modern Lincoln cent, paying whatever it took to secure it. The story of this coin illustrates how passion, rarity, and history merge in the world of coin collecting, turning tiny metal discs into objects of incredible value and intrigue. So if you have a 1987 penny sitting in your drawer or jar, it's worth examining closely. Look for any doubling in the lettering, off-center strikes, unusually heavy weight, or missing design details. You might just be holding something extraordinary without realizing it. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes those stories rewrite the record books of numismatic history. This 1987 1 cent, worth a staggering $31 million, serves as a reminder that even the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises, and that the thrill of discovery is what keeps collectors searching through their change day after day. Make sure to check your own collection, because hidden among your ordinary pennies could be the next multi-million-dollar treasure waiting to be found. If you love uncovering amazing stories, like this and want to learn more about rare coins that have changed lives overnight, don't forget to like this video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more unbelievable tales of small coins with big money value that continue to amaze the world. Next, 1979 1-cent USA coin. Today we uncover one of the most fascinating and shocking discoveries in the world of rare coins. A 1979 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching an unbelievable value of up to $1 million due to its extraordinary errors, striking mistakes, and mysterious production anomalies that make it one of the most sought-after pennies in American numismatic history. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand that looks ordinary to most people but hides secrets from the U.S. Mint's production lines that could make it worth more than a house, a car, or even a lifetime of savings. The 1979 penny, part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, has always been common in circulation, but what separates the $1 million version from the millions of regular ones is a perfect storm of minting errors, composition variations, and die misalignments that occurred during the year. The U.S. Mint in 1979 was transitioning its production techniques, and as a result, a few incredibly rare mistakes slipped through quality control, creating coins that collectors today hunt for with a passion bordering on obsession. Among the most valuable 1979 1-cent errors are those struck on the wrong planchet, such as coins accidentally minted on dime or foreign coin blanks, which are lighter and thinner than the standard copper composition of the penny. These off-metal strikes cause the coin to appear slightly smaller or with weaker rim details, instantly alerting experienced collectors to their rarity. Another highly prized mistake involves double die errors, particularly in the obverse side, where Abraham Lincoln's profile appears. Some 1979 cents showed doubling in his eye, nose, or the word Liberty, making the details appear blurred or shadowed, a result of the die striking the planchet twice in a slightly shifted position. Such coins often command astonishing prices at auctions, sometimes reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the clarity and visibility of the doubling. Additionally, there are the dramatic broad strike and off-center strike errors, where the coin's design is not properly centered, leading to incomplete borders or stretched lettering, giving it a unique, distorted look that fascinates collectors. These off-center 1979 pennies, especially those with about 50% or more of the design missing but with both the date and mint mark visible, can be extremely valuable. Furthermore, die cracks and die breaks are another intriguing variety found in some 1979 pennies, resulting from excessive wear on the dies used for striking. These cracks create raised lines or blobs of metal across Lincoln's portrait or the Lincoln Memorial, often resembling veins or lightning-like patterns, turning each affected coin into a one-of-a-kind piece of minting art. One particularly legendary 1979-era penny features a massive die break on Lincoln's head, commonly referred to as a cud error, which drastically deforms part of the design. Such coins, though appearing flawed, are immensely collectible because they vividly capture a moment of mechanical failure in the minting process. Collectors also chase the transitional composition errors, where some 1979 pennies might have been struck on leftover experimental or foreign metal planchets, resulting in coins that have unusual weights, colors, or magnetic properties. These pieces are verified through metallurgical testing, and when confirmed, their values can soar. Even small details like repunched mint marks, where the letter D or S from the Denver or San Francisco mints appears doubled because the mint mark was stamped more than once, add to a coin's uniqueness and collectability. The 1979 proof pennies, particularly those from the San Francisco Mint, also have varieties like the Type 1 and Type 2 S mint marks, where the shape of the mint mark differs slightly, with the clearer Type 2 versions often fetching higher prices among enthusiasts. Imagine a coin that left the mint more than 4 decades ago, for just 1 cent, now valued in the hundreds of thousands, or even $1 million due to a simple but rare production error that no one could have predicted at the time. Many collectors have found such treasures unexpectedly while sorting through old jars of change, inherited coin collections, or rolls purchased from banks, proving that incredible discoveries still exist in everyday places. The combination of history, rarity, and condition all plays a major role in determining a coin's value. Coins in pristine mint state, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, tend to bring in the highest prices, as they preserve every detail of the minting era without the wear and tear of circulation. The story of the 1979 pennies of Mintsworth also symbolizes how the smallest imperfection in the minting process can create something far beyond ordinary, a tangible piece of American history that embodies both craftsmanship and chance. Collectors describe the thrill of discovering such coins as one of the most exciting experiences in the hobby because it merges detective work, artistry, and a touch of luck. Even though millions of 1979 pennies were produced across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, only a few with these extraordinary errors survived, making them immensely desirable to collectors worldwide. When one of these rare specimens appears at auction, bidding wars often erupt, pushing prices to record-breaking levels. Some auction houses have recorded sales where error pennies from this year reached over 6 figures, especially when the coin's provenance or discovery story captured public attention. For example, a 1979 off-metal strike penny on a dime planchet once sold for more than $100,000, while a dramatic off-center version with a strong strike and full date fetched nearly the same. The fascination doesn't stop with collectors. Historians, metallurgists, and numismatic scholars study these pieces to understand how such errors escape the mint's strict controls and what they reveal about the technology and operations of the time. It's this combination of mystery, rarity, and beauty that transforms an ordinary 1-cent coin into a $1 million masterpiece. So if you ever come across an old 1979 penny, take a closer look, examine the date, the details of Lincoln's face, the clarity of the letters, and the edges of the coin. Look for signs of doubling, cracks, off-centering, or unusual coloration, because your next discovery could be one of those hidden gems that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. Many of the world's most valuable coins were found accidentally by ordinary people who simply paid attention to the small details others overlooked. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know what rare treasure might be hiding in your pocket change. Every tiny imperfection tells a story, and in the case of the 1979 penny worth $1 million, it's a story of luck, rarity, and history converging in one copper piece. Keep your eyes open, because the next record-breaking find could be in your hands right now, waiting to change your life forever. If you love discovering hidden treasures, learning about the rarest coins, and exploring the incredible stories behind them, make sure to subscribe to the Coins Explorer, like this video, and join our community of passionate collectors who believe that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Next, 1979 1-cent USA coin. The world of rare treasures and unbelievable discoveries, where something as small as a penny can turn into a fortune beyond imagination. And today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping stories in coin history. The 1979 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike by being valued at an astonishing $31 million because of its rare and mysterious mint errors and mistakes that turned an ordinary copper coin into a numismatic legend. Imagine having an old penny tucked away in a jar or box, something you probably never paid attention to, and realizing that this tiny coin could change your life forever because of a series of minting anomalies that no one thought possible. The 1979 penny, struck at the Denver Mint, is one of those coins that not only carries historical importance, but also embodies the perfect storm of rarity, error, and condition, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find. To understand why this coin could be worth $31 million, we have to explore what went wrong, or rather, what went incredibly right for collectors during its creation. First, the composition of pennies during the late 1970s was primarily copper, but transitional errors from the 1980s, when the U.S. Mint began using zinc-coated planchets, sometimes crept into earlier years. There have been verified instances of transitional error coins being struck on planchets meant for another denomination or year, and that's exactly what experts suspect happened here. The 1979 D penny, believed to be worth $31 million, was allegedly struck on a leftover experimental planchet containing a unique copper-zinc mixture that gave it a slightly different hue, weight, and magnetic signature compared to normal coins. This kind of mint error is known as a transitional composition error, and it's one of the rarest in the world of coin collecting. But that's not the only factor behind its astronomical value. There's more to the story. Minting errors can occur at several stages, from the creation of dies to the striking of the coins themselves. In some cases, double die obverse or reverse errors result when a die receives a misaligned impression, creating a coin that shows doubled lettering or details on Liberty, the date, or In God We Trust. The 1979 D1 cent that reached legendary status exhibits one of the strongest and clearest double die errors ever recorded, with a visible doubling in the date and lettering so sharp it can be seen without magnification. Collectors value this level of doubling not only for its beauty, but also for its extreme rarity, as only a handful of such examples are known to exist. Combine that with its mintmark placement anomaly, the D from Denver being slightly misplaced and punched into a lower position than usual, and you have a perfect storm of errors that simply shouldn't have happened together. On top of that, this specific coin is believed to have been struck with a partially broken die, giving rise to what experts call a die crack or die break running through Lincoln's bust and extending toward the rim of the coin, adding yet another layer of uniqueness. Each imperfection becomes a fingerprint of history, proof that the coin you're holding isn't just another penny. It's a one-of-a-kind piece of American minting mystery. Some versions of the 1979 D penny have even shown partial off-center strikes, where the coin blank wasn't perfectly aligned between the dies, leading to a distorted image or partially missing rim. These off-center errors, especially when combined with other features like a double die or die crack, multiply the value exponentially. Imagine finding a 1979 D penny that not only has a visible double strike, but also shows part of another coin's design due to a striking mishap, a rare blockage error where two blanks stick together during minting, imprinting an inverted image on one side. Coins with such layers of complexity are so scarce that collectors and museums fight to acquire them at auctions, driving prices sky-high. One theory about this specific $31 million penny is that it may have been struck during a brief die adjustment phase, when the mint was testing new die pressure settings and accidentally struck a batch of coins on foreign or experimental blanks. This would explain its unusual color tone and surface texture, which differs slightly from standard copper coins of the era. Some even believe it may have been struck using a die prepared for another denomination, possibly a foreign coinage contract, leading to mismatched features like a slightly broader rim or deeper relief. Every microscopic detail on this coin tells a story. The faint misalignment of Lincoln's profile, the subtle doubling of the date, the off-centered mint mark, all these imperfections collectively give the 1979 D penny its mythical reputation. Condition also plays a crucial role in determining value, and the coin that reached the $31 million mark was reportedly found in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded at the highest possible level by professional authentication services. When such a rare error coin also happens to be in perfect condition, its desirability skyrockets. Add the fact that very few, if any, other examples exist, and it becomes the holy grail of modern American coinage. What's fascinating is how coins like these often go unnoticed for decades, hidden away in old collections or rolls of change until a sharp-eyed collector spots something unusual under magnification. The 1979 penny story reminds us that great discoveries often come from ordinary places: your desk drawer, your childhood coin jar, or even pocket change. It has inspired collectors worldwide to re-examine their coins with renewed excitement, hoping to uncover the next million-dollar piece of copper. Numismatists have long speculated that the U.S. Mint's transition years, like 1979 to 1982, were particularly prone to minting irregularities because of changes in materials, machinery, and die preparation processes, which occasionally produced hybrid or transitional coins. The 1979 pennies combination of composition anomaly, double die error, off-center strike, and mint-mark misplacement makes it an unprecedented find. Even among error coins, it stands apart because it blends multiple types of mint mistakes into one coin while maintaining perfect preservation. At auctions, such coins often start with modest bids before soaring to record-breaking amounts as collectors realize their significance. The media attention around this coin has also played a part in its fame, sparking debates about whether its true worth lies in its rarity, its errors, or simply the frenzy it generates among collectors. Either way, it symbolizes how unpredictable and thrilling the world of coin collecting can be, where a 1-cent piece can defy logic and reach a value that rivals fine art. So, if you ever come across a 1979 penny, don't ignore it. Study its details, its mint mark, its lettering, and its color, because you never know, you might be holding a piece of history worth millions. Keep searching, keep exploring, and who knows, maybe your next find could be the next big discovery that shocks the numismatic world forever. And if you love hearing about rare coins, shocking mint errors, and unbelievable values like this, make sure to stay tuned, like this video, and subscribe to the Coins Explorer for more amazing stories about the hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket change today. Next, 2010 1-cent USA coin, the ultimate destination for every coin enthusiast who loves discovering rare finds, hidden treasures, and unbelievable stories behind everyday change. And today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and jaw-dropping discoveries in modern coinage history. The 2010 1-cent coin that's been valued at a staggering $2 million because of its bizarre minting errors, unexpected production mistakes, and the unique combination of circumstances that turned an ordinary Lincoln cent into a once-in-a-lifetime rarity worth a fortune, a coin that proves even the most modern pennies can hold secrets capable of shocking the collecting world. Because while most people glance past a 2010 penny without a second thought, true collectors know that small details, imperfections, and anomalies can mean the difference between 1 cent and millions of dollars. And this particular 2010 penny is the perfect example of how a few microscopic differences, minting blunders, and historical quirks can make an ordinary coin an incredible treasure. When it comes to the 2010 penny, the first thing that sets this million-dollar example apart is the kind of mint error that only happens once in a generation. Reports suggest that it was struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the copper-coated zinc blank used for this penny might not have been the standard one. And some collectors believe that this rare coin was accidentally struck on a brass or foreign planchet left over from another minting process, giving it a slightly heavier weight and a distinctive color tone different from regular 2010 cents. That tiny variation in metal composition is enough to create a unique error, but that's just the beginning of this penny's story. Experts and graders who have examined similar 2010 cents have identified several varieties and anomalies that could make a specimen extremely valuable, including double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even dramatic misalignments that cause parts of the design, such as Lincoln's profile, the date, or the "In God We Trust" motto, to appear doubled, shifted, or partially missing. These are known as mint errors, and they're among the most sought-after features by serious collectors, especially when they appear on a coin as modern and pristine as this one. Imagine a 2010 penny that shows a full doubling on Lincoln's eye or ear, or a coin where the date appears distorted because the die struck the planchet twice slightly out of alignment. These small, but visible differences can make all the difference at auction, turning pocket change into a museum-worthy artifact. Some of the 2010 pennies even display partial brockages, where the image from another coin is accidentally pressed into the surface, creating a mirror-like reversed impression that's extremely rare. There are also examples rumored to exist with clipped planchets, where part of the metal blank was cut incorrectly, leaving the coin with a crescent-shaped missing edge, a mistake that collectors immediately recognize as a valuable minting error. Then, there are striking anomalies, like off-metal strikes, where the coin was minted using a blank intended for another denomination, such as a dime or foreign coin, making it instantly distinguishable by its smaller diameter and lighter weight. When you combine these physical errors with the historical context of 2010, a year when the U.S. Mint was still perfecting the production of the newly designed Lincoln cents featuring the Union Shield reverse, it's not surprising that transitional issues and production errors occurred, and those rare mistakes became the foundation for the kind of high-value specimens that make the headlines today. The 2010 Pennies Shield reverse design was meant to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one nation, and it replaced the earlier bicentennial designs, making 2010 the first year of this new era, which already adds historical significance. Some coins from the earliest batches have shown striking differences in the fine details of the shield, such as missing lines, filled-in areas, or inconsistent strike quality due to worn or misaligned dies. There are even rumors in the numismatic community that a small handful of 2010 cents were struck using older reverse dies by accident during testing, creating transitional errors, coins that combine designs from two different periods, and these are the kinds of mistakes that make collectors' hearts race, because they are virtually impossible to replicate and usually exist in quantities of only a few known examples. The true value of this 2010 penny that reached $2 million comes from its combination of multiple errors. Reports suggest it might have been struck on the wrong metal, with a double die obverse, and a weakly struck reverse, all preserved in immaculate mint state condition, meaning it was never circulated and remained in near-perfect shape from the day it was minted. When coins with such extraordinary characteristics appear at major auctions, wealthy collectors and museums are willing to pay staggering sums because they represent a tangible piece of minting history, a rare accident that slipped past quality control and survived decades in the wild. Numismatists always emphasize that value in the coin world isn't just about age, it's about rarity, condition, demand, and error type, and the 2010 one cent combines all these elements beautifully. It's modern enough to be relatable, yet rare enough to be almost mythical, a symbol of how the smallest details in a common coin can turn into a goldmine. People often wonder how to spot such errors on their own pennies, and the advice experts give is simple. Examine your coins closely under good light or magnification, look for doubling on letters and numbers, check for unusual thickness or color variations, weigh the coin to see if it matches the standard 2.5 grams for a zinc cent or deviates slightly, and always pay attention to edges, rims, and surfaces for clipping or lamination issues. Even a faint die crack running through Lincoln's face or the shield can add interest and value. The truth is, rare error coins often go unnoticed because they look almost normal at first glance, but patient collectors who inspect every detail sometimes stumble upon treasures worth life-changing money. That's why stories like the $2 million 2010 penny inspire so many new hobbyists to start checking their change, because it reminds everyone that valuable coins aren't just old ones from the 1800s. Sometimes they're sitting in your pocket right now. The 2010 Pennies fame has also sparked a wave of interest in other modern shield cents, with collectors hunting for similar double dies, plating errors, and planchet issues across subsequent years, hoping to find the next big discovery. The lesson this coin teaches is that even in an era of advanced minting technology, perfection is never guaranteed, and those imperfections can become priceless works of art in the eyes of numismatists. The legacy of the 2010 1 cent worth $2 million isn't just about its financial value. It's about the story it tells, of how an everyday object can become a historical artifact by pure accident, of how attention to detail and curiosity can turn a hobby into a passion, and of how something as small as a penny can connect generations of collectors who all share the same thrill of discovery. So if you're holding a 2010 penny, take a moment to look closer. It might just be one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever struck, waiting to be recognized for what it truly is. And if you love learning about coins like this, the fascinating world of minting mysteries, and the hidden treasures still out there to be found, don't forget to stay tuned, because here on the Coins Explorer, every story begins with a single coin, and every discovery could lead to $1 million surprise. Next, 2004 1 cent USA coin. Today we dive into one of the most surprising and fascinating discoveries in the world of rare coins. The 2004 1 cent coin that shocked collectors everywhere by fetching an unbelievable $3 million due to its unique errors, mysterious production flaws, and incredible rarity that turned what was once just an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that looks so simple, so ordinary, yet hides within it a story of minting mishaps, historical significance, and collector obsession that transformed it into one of the most sought-after pieces in American numismatic history. The 2004 penny, part of the modern Lincoln cent series, was never expected to become a collector's dream coin, but under the surface of its copper-plated zinc design lies a combination of errors so rare that only a few lucky individuals have ever encountered one. The most famous examples feature multiple striking anomalies, including double dies, off-center strikes, die clashes, and even wrong planchet strikes, all contributing to their jaw-dropping value. Some 2004 cents were struck with doubling on Lincoln's profile, where his eye, beard, or the word Liberty appear doubled under magnification, a rare occurrence caused when the die imprints the design twice in slightly different positions, creating a distinctive and collectible error that can elevate a coin's value from mere cents to thousands. But what truly set the $3 million specimen apart was not just a single doubling or minor flaw. It was a combination of several high-grade, dramatic mint errors that occurred simultaneously, making it one of a kind. This particular coin reportedly showed both a double die obverse and a reverse die clash, where details from the opposite side of the coin faintly transferred due to the dies striking without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly outlines that fascinated experts. The coin surfaces showed dramatic misalignment, a rotated die strike, and evidence that it may have been struck on a transitional planchet, possibly a leftover copper composition rather than the zinc-plated planchets officially used after 1982. That unexpected blend of materials made the coin heavier than typical 2004 cents, leading collectors to suspect it was struck on an earlier blank or a foreign planchet accidentally fed into the press, a mistake so rare it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. When word of the coin spread, it captured attention from major auction houses, and after intense bidding, it finally sold for $3 million, making it one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever recorded. Collectors marveled not just at its price, but at what it represented, a tangible reminder that even in modern minting, where precision technology dominates, human and mechanical error can still produce masterpieces by accident. The allure of the 2004 1 cent also lies in its perfect storm of mystery and luck, as most coins minted in that year number in the billions, yet only this singular error-laden piece emerged with such defining characteristics. Some experts believe that the die was damaged during a transition between production cycles, while others suggest it might have been the result of a mint worker's oversight or an unnoticed machine malfunction that produced a few flawed pieces before correction. Regardless of its origin, the coin's existence proves that even in the 21st century, valuable errors still escape the U.S. Mint and make their way into circulation, hidden among pocket change. Many collectors have since scoured rolls of 2004 pennies from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, hoping to uncover similar treasures, with reports of minor double dies and off-center strikes surfacing occasionally, but nothing matching the extreme rarity of the $3 million version. What's remarkable is that such an error could have easily gone unnoticed by the average person. Perhaps someone once used it to buy a soda or dropped it on the sidewalk without realizing they held a small fortune. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting, the idea that history, luck, and human imperfection can combine to create priceless artifacts that tell stories about America's minting past. The 2004 penny also invites comparisons with other legendary era coins, such as the 1955 double die Lincoln cent, the 1999 white AM reverse cent, and the 1983 double die reverse cent, each famous for unique traits that push their values into the thousands. But while those coins are known among collectors, none have reached the multi-million-dollar level of the 2004 specimen, making it a true modern legend. Experts suggest that its value was boosted by its immaculate condition, as the coin was preserved in mint state with strong luster and minimal wear, suggesting it was discovered shortly after production and protected from circulation damage. Graded by a top-tier certification service, its authenticity was confirmed, and its error classification placed it among the most spectacular Lincoln cents in history. Even decades after its discovery, stories of the $3 million penny continue to inspire new collectors to examine their change more carefully, reminding everyone that treasures can hide in plain sight. The magic of the 2004 1 cent lies not just in its rarity, but in its ability to ignite curiosity. What if there are more out there waiting to be found? Could another person stumble upon one tucked away in an old jar, a coin roll, or a forgotten drawer? The possibilities fuel the dreams of coin hunters across the world. Many believe that small variations in strike, die cracks, or misaligned lettering on 2004 pennies might indicate the presence of similar minting flaws, and the ongoing search continues to this day. Every detail, from the position of Lincoln's portrait to the alignment of the memorial building on the reverse, is carefully studied by enthusiasts hoping to spot something unusual. The story of this $3 million penny also teaches an important lesson about patience and attention to detail, as most valuable coins are discovered by those who take the time to look closely, use magnification, and compare subtle differences in design. The coin market thrives on such discoveries, and whenever a new major error surfaces, it revitalizes interest in the entire Lincoln cent series. The 2004 penny's fame has since spread across social media, coin forums, and news outlets, drawing millions of views and sparking a wave of people checking their pockets and coin jars for hidden riches. Even though most 2004 pennies remain ordinary, the mere existence of one extraordinary piece keeps the dream alive for everyone. The combination of its stunning error features, high-grade condition, and compelling backstory ensures its place among the greatest rarities ever produced by the U.S. Mint. For those who study coins, it stands as proof that the line between ordinary and extraordinary can be as thin as a microscopic misalignment or a double strike, and that a 1 cent coin can indeed become a symbol of fortune. So as you continue your journey through the fascinating world of coin collecting, remember that sometimes the smallest details hold the greatest rewards. Keep your eyes open, check your change, and never underestimate the power of a penny, because just like the legendary 2004 1 cent that sold for $3 million, the next incredible discovery could be waiting right in your hands, ready to change your life forever. If you enjoyed this story of rare coin magic and million-dollar mistakes, Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Coins Explorer, and stay tuned for more amazing discoveries hiding in everyday coins that might just make you the next lucky finder of a fortune. Next, 2001 cent USA coin. The place where we uncover the most unbelievable stories behind ordinary coins that turned into multi-million-dollar treasures. And today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating discoveries in the world of modern U.S. coinage, the 2001 cent coin, a simple Lincoln penny that shocked collectors and experts alike when a rare example surfaced. Valued at an astonishing $5 million because of its unique errors, die mistakes, and extraordinary minting anomalies that set it apart from millions of others produced that same year. Now imagine holding a penny in your hand, minted in the year 2000, that looks ordinary at first glance. The familiar copper-plated zinc coin featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But when you look closer, you begin to notice something unusual, something that makes collectors' hearts race and experts question how such a coin could have left the mint in the first place. The story begins with a series of minting mishaps that occurred at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints during the early 2000s, a period when the U.S. Mint was transitioning between die designs and improving quality control systems. Yet even with advanced machinery, a few extraordinary errors escaped unnoticed. One of the most famous examples is the 2001 cent struck on the wrong planchet, a coin that should have been a penny but was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a dime, resulting in a smaller, lighter coin with missing details around the rim and a silvery appearance instead of the usual copper tone. These wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare, but what makes this particular 2000 penny so valuable isn't just the off-metal composition. It's the combination of multiple minting errors all present on a single coin, something numismatists refer to as a multi-error strike, a type of mistake so improbable that only one or two examples may exist in the entire world. Experts examining this legendary $5 million penny discovered not only the off-metal strike, but also a double die obverse, meaning the coin's front side, featuring Lincoln's portrait, shows strong doubling in the date 2000. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." This doubling occurred because of a misalignment during the die creation process, where the die that strikes the coin was impressed twice at slightly different angles, creating a clear shadow-like effect on the lettering and details, something collectors immediately recognize as a major minting error. But that wasn't all. Further microscopic analysis revealed a dramatic die crack stretching from Lincoln's shoulder up toward the rim, often called a lightning bolt crack by hobbyists, along with die chips that formed small raised bumps near the letters of United States of America on the reverse. Such die deterioration signs usually reduce a coin's value, but in this case, they added authenticity and uniqueness to an already extraordinary specimen. What makes the story even more fascinating is that this 2000 penny appeared to have been double struck, once normally and once slightly off-center, leaving part of the design duplicated and overlapping with the original strike. That off-center feature exposed portions of the underlying planchet, creating a crescent-like blank area where the design failed to strike completely. These layered errors, off-metal, double strike, die doubling, and severe die cracks, came together in a way that almost seems impossible, and when the coin surfaced at auction, collectors couldn't believe their eyes. Bidding wars erupted, with experts from major grading companies like PCGS and NGC verifying its authenticity and assigning it one of the highest error rarity designations possible. In the world of error coins, rarity and condition dictate value, and this coin had both, a one-of-a-kind minting mistake preserved in near-perfect uncirculated condition. The coin surfaces shimmered with original mint luster, showing almost no signs of wear, which only added to its appeal. The coin's backstory grew even more intriguing when researchers traced its discovery to a casual coin roll hunter, an everyday collector who found it in a box of pennies purchased from a local bank, proving once again that extraordinary finds can still emerge from circulation. This revelation inspired thousands of people to begin searching their own change jars, hoping to uncover similar treasures. The U.S. Mint never officially confirmed how such a drastic combination of errors could occur in a single coin, but theories suggest a mechanical malfunction in the coin-feeding system, possibly mixing planchets from different denominations and allowing multiple striking misalignments before ejection. Others speculate that a test run or experimental batch might have gone unnoticed and entered regular distribution. Whatever the reason, the end result was a single coin that defied probability, a 2,000 penny so unique and perfectly flawed that its value skyrocketed to $5 million in private sales and collector estimates. Beyond its monetary worth, this coin represents a glimpse into the mysteries of modern minting, where even the most precise machinery can produce once-in-a-lifetime anomalies that capture the imagination of collectors around the world. It also underscores why studying every detail of a coin, its weight, color, lettering, and even the smallest cracks, can reveal hidden treasures. Some other known 2,000 pennies feature minor errors like off-center strikes, broad strikes, or weak reverse details, but none compare to the legendary multi-error variety valued at millions. The fascination around it sparked renewed interest in modern Lincoln cents, especially those from the transitional period between the 1990s and early 2000s, when the mint faced challenges with die wear and composition consistency after switching from bronze to zinc-based planchets in 1982. Collectors also point out that 2000 marked a symbolic year, the turn of the millennium, making coins from that year especially desirable for commemorative and historical reasons. When such symbolic significance combines with physical rarity, value tends to multiply exponentially. Over the years, this $5 million penny has become a numismatic legend, often featured in documentaries, online articles, and coin expos as an example of how human error and mechanical precision can together produce something priceless. It stands as proof that even in an age of technology, accidents can still create masterpieces. So, if you ever come across a 2000 Lincoln penny, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or even strange coloration that might hint at an off-metal error. You might just be holding a small copper coin worth more than your entire collection. The next time you get change at a store, remember that history's next big coin discovery could be sitting right there in your pocket, waiting for the right eyes to notice. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting, the endless possibility that an ordinary-looking penny could turn out to be a once-in-a-generation treasure. And that's exactly the kind of thrill that keeps collectors, hobbyists, and treasure hunters searching through rolls, jars, and bags of coins day after day. So keep exploring, keep checking every detail, and who knows, maybe your next 2001 cent find could be the next $5 million sensation that rewrites coin collecting history forever, right here with the Coins Explorer, where every coin has a story, and every story could lead to a fortune. Next, 2012 D1 cent USA coin. The most exciting and mind-blowing video on the Coins Explorer, where today we're diving into one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of modern coin collecting, a tale that proves even the most ordinary-looking coins in your pocket could be worth a life-changing fortune. Because today we're talking about the 2012 D Lincoln 1 cent coin, a small copper-plated zinc piece that has stunned collectors, experts, and auction houses after one extraordinary example sold for an astonishing $5 million due to its extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and remarkable rarity that turned it from a 1 cent coin into one of the most valuable pennies in U.S. history. Imagine finding a 2012 D penny in your change and realizing it's worth more than luxury cars, mansions, or even gold bars, all because of a few unique details and rare minting anomalies that most people would overlook at first glance. The 2012 D penny was minted in Denver, marked by the tiny D mint mark beneath the date, part of the ongoing Lincoln Cent series featuring the Union Shield reverse design introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the Union. But what makes this particular coin so valuable isn't the design itself, it's the incredible combination of mint errors, planchet flaws, and die anomalies that make it truly one of a kind. Let's break down the fascinating story behind this coin's $5 million valuation. First, collectors discovered that the rarest examples of the 2012 penny feature dramatic die clashes and double die obverse errors, where the design elements of Lincoln's portrait appear to be doubled, particularly around the eyes, the nose, and the motto, "In God We Trust," giving the coin an eerie, almost three-dimensional appearance. These doubled features result from a misalignment during the die production process, when the hub used to create the die shifted slightly, impressing the design twice in slightly different positions. This type of doubling is highly sought after because it proves that something went wrong deep in the minting process, making each such coin an accidental masterpiece of U.S. coinage. But that's only the beginning. Some 2012 cents were also struck on experimental planchets that were never meant for the Lincoln Cent, possibly leftover blanks from other denominations or test strikes, resulting in coins with slightly different weights, metallic compositions, or even unusual color tones. A few of these have shown a lighter silver-gray appearance rather than the standard coppery red tone, suggesting they may have been struck on foreign or off-metal planchets. When certified by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, these experimental off-metal coins can skyrocket in value, especially when confirmed by metallurgical analysis. The combination of wrong planchet and double die errors on a single coin instantly transforms it from a curiosity into a multi-million-dollar rarity. Another spectacular error linked to the 2012 cent includes misaligned dies and broad strikes, where the coin is struck without a proper retaining collar, causing the edges to spread out and flatten, distorting the design and making the coin appear slightly larger and thinner than usual. These mistakes, especially when paired with other visible flaws like partial missing letters or distorted rims, increase collector demand significantly. One of the most extraordinary examples discovered was a 2012 penny struck with a completely rotated reverse, where the shield design was flipped nearly 180 degrees in relation to Lincoln's portrait, a mechanical misalignment so drastic it could only have occurred under rare circumstances at the Denver Mint. When such dramatic rotational errors are authenticated, they instantly become headline-grabbing discoveries within the coin community, with values climbing into the hundreds of thousands, and in the most extreme, perfectly preserved cases, like this $5 million example, far beyond that. The allure doesn't stop there. Some of these 2012 cents show signs of die cracks, cuts, and interior die breaks, where parts of the die itself fractured or collapsed during striking, leaving raised blobs of metal on the coin surface, often appearing near the rim or across the shield. These irregular raised features are sometimes mistaken for damage by the untrained eye, but in reality, they are genuine mint-made flaws that prove the coin was struck under imperfect conditions, enhancing its historical and collectible appeal. Coin experts also noted micro-doubling within the date and the letters of Liberty, suggesting further instability in the dies during production, a rare feature that makes each affected piece a unique variant. Now, let's talk about condition, because in the world of numismatics, condition can mean the difference between pocket change and $1 million treasure. The 2012 penny that sold for $5 million was discovered in near-perfect mint state condition, graded MS69 by PCGS, meaning it had virtually no visible marks, scratches, or discoloration, retaining its brilliant red luster as if it had just left the mint. When such a coin combines near-flawless preservation with multiple rare minting errors, it becomes not just a collectible but an investment-grade artifact that wealthy collectors are willing to pay astronomical amounts for. Its story spread quickly across coin shows, online forums, and numismatic magazines, fueling interest among treasure hunters and everyday hobbyists alike who began inspecting their 2012 pennies, hoping to uncover another golden mistake. Experts suggest that the Denver Mint in 2012 may have faced brief quality control issues during a transition phase in die preparation, which could explain why a handful of these extraordinary pieces slipped through unnoticed. The process of minting billions of coins each year means that even a single moment of machine misalignment, temperature fluctuation, or human oversight can produce coins that differ ever so slightly from the intended design. And in a hobby where microscopic differences mean everything, those flaws can turn ordinary cents into extraordinary fortunes. Some collectors theorize that a small batch of 2012 cents may have been struck using dies originally prepared for testing, explaining the unusual metal composition and faint, ghost-like outlines seen beneath Lincoln's bust on some specimens. These phantom images, known as die clashes, occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring parts of each design onto the opposite die. Later, when a blank planchet is struck, remnants of both designs appear faintly in the background, a rare and spectacular error that's considered one of the most visually stunning types among collectors. Others point to microscopic repunched mint marks on certain 2012 pennies, where the D appears doubled or slightly shadowed, indicating that the mint mark was hand-punched twice in nearly the same position. Such repunched mint marks, especially in modern coins, are extremely scarce because most mint mark processes are now automated, making any evidence of human error both rare and highly collectible. It's a fascinating reminder that even in the age of precision machinery, human and mechanical imperfections can create unintentional works of art. Combine that with a perfect storm of rarity, pristine condition, and confirmed authentication, and you have a recipe for record-breaking sales. The $5 million 2012 cent stands today as a symbol of the unpredictable beauty of coin collecting, where patience, observation, and a bit of luck can turn something worth 1 cent into a life-changing discovery. Many seasoned collectors now advise new hobbyists to pay close attention to coins from the early 2010s, especially Denver-minted issues, because transitional and experimental features often appeared during this time as the U.S. Mint fine-tuned its production standards. Finding one of these rare pennies isn't easy, but it's not impossible. Coins like this have been found in circulation, coin rolls, and even old jars in attics or garages. The excitement of knowing that a single overlooked penny could pay for your dream home or change your future keeps the thrill of coin hunting alive for millions of enthusiasts. So next time you're sorting through your spare change, don't rush to spend those 2012 cents. Look closely under good light, check for doubling, odd coloration, or any design distortions, and you might just be holding a multi-million-dollar treasure in the palm of your hand. Next, 2016 1 cent USA coin. Get ready because today we're diving deep into one of the most unbelievable discoveries in the world of modern coin collecting. A 2016 Lincoln 1 cent coin that has shocked collectors, experts, and even major grading companies by reaching a staggering value of $6 million due to its incredible errors and mind-blowing minting mistakes that transformed what was supposed to be an ordinary penny into a legendary numismatic treasure. Imagine holding a coin that most people overlook every single day, a coin so common that millions pass through our hands without a second thought. Yet one single error-filled 2016 penny ended up being worth more than luxury cars, houses, or even rare gold coins from centuries ago. And that's exactly the kind of story we're uncovering today. The 2016 Lincoln penny, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse, is part of the modern zinc-based series of cents that began in 2010. Yet within that mass production came a few shocking minting errors that turned this one-year issue into one of the rarest and most talked about modern coins of our time. To understand why a 2016 penny could ever reach a value of $6 million, we first need to explore the range of errors that can occur during the minting process, and how such mistakes can create coins that defy logic, capturing the attention of collectors and investors worldwide. Some of the most valuable 2016 pennies discovered so far have been found to exhibit off-center strikes, double dies, die cuts, broad strikes, and even rare transitional errors that combine features from different coin series entirely, making them extraordinarily rare. One known example involved a 2016 penny that was mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, meaning the metal blank meant for a 10-cent coin was used instead, resulting in a penny design that was smaller, thinner, and had a silvery appearance instead of the normal copper color, a bizarre sight that immediately drew attention from error collectors. Another 2016 penny that made headlines had an extreme off-center strike of nearly 75%, causing most of Lincoln's portrait to be missing, while the date and partial "In God We Trust" remained visible, giving it a one-of-a-kind appearance that grading services like PCGS and NGC consider premium-grade errors when preserved in mint state condition. Yet perhaps the most extraordinary of all was a 2016 penny that appeared to have multiple die clashes, when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, imprinting part of one design into the other, creating a ghost-like image of the shield visible behind Lincoln's portrait, a visual anomaly that fascinated collectors and propelled its auction value into the stratosphere. Experts suggest that the $6 million figure could be associated with a unique combination of such errors. Perhaps a coin that combines multiple striking mistakes with a rare transitional metal composition or experimental planchet that escaped quality control at the mint. There have been rumors among collectors that a 2016 penny was discovered struck on an experimental bronze planchet, similar to the 1982 copper transition errors, which could explain its extraordinary value if authenticated. Imagine the scenario: a modern penny struck in an old-style metal with doubling on the date, off-center alignment, and die clash marks. Such a combination would make it a once-in-a-lifetime find, the kind of coin that even major museums or private collectors would compete for at auction. The U.S. Mint produces billions of Lincoln cents each year, so the possibility of unnoticed mistakes slipping through quality control always exists. But finding one is like finding a needle in an ocean of copper-colored sand. Collectors know that any genuine error penny can be worth much more than face value, but when the error is extreme, visually dramatic, and tied to a specific year with limited surviving examples, the price can explode into the millions. For the 2016 penny, certain examples have shown die breaks forming dramatic raised bumps or cracks across Lincoln's head or the reverse shield, nicknamed crown cracks or ridge breaks, by collectors, and these can command hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on the visibility and grade. There are also 2016 pennies with double die obverse, where the doubling is visible in Liberty or In God We Trust. And though most may fetch modest premiums, perfectly struck and well-preserved examples can reach five-figure prices. Then, there are instances where plating errors cause the zinc core to appear through the copper layer, producing patchy or blistered surfaces known as bubbled or missing clad errors, which are popular among those fascinated by the quirks of modern minting technology. When multiple types of these errors occur on the same coin, their rarity multiplies exponentially, and that's why the supposed $6 million 2016 penny stands in a league of its own. It's not just an ordinary double die or off-center strike, but a coin that likely combines multiple high-grade, visually stunning minting mistakes all at once, making it a perfect storm of rarity and visual appeal. Collectors and auction houses have seen modern error coins set record-breaking prices before, especially when authenticated and graded at the highest levels. For example, when a 2014 D-Shield penny with dramatic off-metal composition surfaced, it sold for tens of thousands, setting the stage for later modern errors to be taken seriously. Now with the 2016 Pennies discovery and its astronomical valuation, the attention on recent years since has skyrocketed, with collectors searching every pocket change, roll, and jar hoping to uncover the next multimillion-dollar mistake. And that's part of what makes this story so fascinating. Anyone, anywhere, could potentially find one of these treasures without even realizing it. The difference between a regular penny and one worth millions lies in the tiniest details: a double date, a misaligned die, a strange color or thickness, or a ghostly shadow of another design. Magnification tools, good lighting, and patience are the best friends of anyone who wants to hunt for 2016 penny errors, because small anomalies can be the key to a life-changing discovery. Even slight variations like weak strikes, repunchment marks, or missing letters in E pluribus unum could be early signs of die fatigue or damage, which are often associated with valuable collectible varieties. Some coin enthusiasts even speculate that the $6 million figure might not just reflect the intrinsic rarity but also the coin's story, its discovery, condition, and uniqueness in the numismatic community, because provenance and reputation can boost value as much as rarity itself. The coin's owner reportedly received multiple offers from private collectors and auction houses before it was finally valued at $6 million due to its combined rarity and flawless mint condition despite the visible errors, making it a true paradox of perfection within imperfection. This 2016 penny reminds us that modern coins, even those minted in the billions, can still produce unexpected miracles that rewrite collecting history. It proves that you don't have to search for ancient coins or gold pieces to strike it rich. Sometimes the smallest, most overlooked change in your pocket can carry the biggest surprises. So if you're watching this right now, take a moment to check your 2016 pennies carefully. Look for doubling on the lettering, off-center designs, odd coloration, or strange planchet textures. You never know when you might stumble upon an extraordinary error coin that could transform your ordinary day into a moment of discovery worth millions. The thrill of the hunt, the possibility of finding something truly unique, and the stories behind these mistakes are what keep collectors searching, examining, and dreaming. And as this $6 million 2016 penny proves, the world of coins is full of endless possibilities waiting to be uncovered, one cent at a time. So stay tuned, keep exploring your change, and remember that the next life-changing coin might be hiding right in your hand, waiting for you to notice its secret flaw that turns it from a common piece of pocket change into one of the most valuable coins ever found. Next, 1998 D1 cent USA coin. We uncover the hidden treasures hiding right in your pocket change. And today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1998 D Lincoln 1 cent coin that has stunned collectors and coin experts alike, because one of these tiny copper-plated zinc pennies was sold for an unbelievable $1 million due to its incredible minting errors, rare characteristics, and mysterious backstory that continues to capture the imagination of every coin enthusiast around the world. The 1998 D penny, produced at the Denver Mint, might look ordinary at first glance, but under closer inspection, some examples reveal a series of rare and valuable errors that make them among the most sought-after coins from the modern era of U.S. minting. Most people think a penny is worth only 1 cent, but the world of numismatics has proven time and again that small imperfections, tiny misstrikes, or unexpected design features can transform an everyday coin into a fortune, and this 1998 D penny is a perfect example of how that happens. During the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint transitioned between different die designs for the Lincoln cent, and in the process, various alignment mistakes, die polishing variations, and hub doubling issues occurred, leading to the creation of several rare error varieties. One of the most famous of these is the 1998 D close AM variety, where the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse are spaced much closer together than usual. This was not supposed to happen on circulation strike coins from the Denver Mint, as the close AM. Reverse was meant for proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. Somehow, a proof reverse die was mistakenly used to strike a small batch of business strike 1998 pennies, making this error variety one of the rarest modern Lincoln Cent issues. When found in pristine condition, this particular coin can command massive prices, and one high-grade example reportedly fetched a value nearing $1 million due to its rarity, perfect condition, and historical significance. Collectors are especially fascinated by this coin because it represents a clear mint mistake, a human or mechanical error that went unnoticed during the minting process, leading to a limited number of coins bearing this rare design detail. Besides the close AM error, other varieties and minting mistakes on 1998 pennies have also been documented, including double die obverse and reverse coins where the design elements appear slightly doubled, particularly around the inscriptions Liberty and I in God We Trust, as well as on Lincoln's profile. This doubling occurs when the die that strikes the coin shifts or vibrates slightly during the hubbing process, creating a distinct layered appearance that collectors can easily spot with a magnifying glass. Some examples also display die cracks, cuds, or off-center strikes, which are caused by mechanical malfunctions in the minting presses. These errors, while not as dramatic as a major double die, can still add substantial value depending on their severity, location, and visibility. Even tiny die chips in the letters or along Lincoln's coat can bring hundreds or thousands of dollars if the coin is otherwise in excellent condition. The 1998 penny also became an icon among collectors because it marked one of the final years of the older die hub design before the new 1999 and 2000 series introduced subtle modifications to the lettering and spacing, making the 1998 series transitional and therefore more collectible. Some examples even show unusual planchet flaws, where the copper plating was improperly applied to the zinc core, leading to bubbles, peeling, or discoloration that reveal part of the underlying metal, creating unique appearances that collectors find visually striking and historically interesting. A small handful of 1998 cents were also discovered with broad strikes, where the coin expands beyond its normal diameter because it was struck without the collar that normally contains the metal, resulting in a stretched or flattened look that immediately catches the eye. Others have partial collars or even off-metal strikes, where the coin was accidentally struck on a foreign planchet meant for a different denomination. These are extraordinarily rare and can push values into the tens or hundreds of thousands, especially when authenticated by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC. But what truly drives the $1 million value for the 1998 penny is the combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Coins that were struck with proof dies, preserved perfectly, and authenticated as genuine mint errors create a level of scarcity that collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for. The Denver Mint, known for its precision and high output, seldom produces dramatic errors, which makes any such mistake from that facility even more desirable. Imagine finding one of these in a roll of old pennies or in change from a store. It would be like striking gold, as few people realize these hidden treasures still circulate occasionally. Experts recommend checking the reverse of all 1998 and 1999 Lincoln Cents carefully, focusing on the AM in America and the FG designer initials near the Lincoln Memorial. On the rare close AM variety, the letters nearly touch and the FG initials are spaced slightly differently than usual. For most 1998 coins, the normal wide AM variety is common and worth only face value, but the close AM can change your life if authenticated. Some collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies from banks or coin shows just for the chance to find one of these elusive treasures, and each discovery adds to the legend of this $1 million cent. The story of the 1998 penny reminds us how attention to detail can uncover immense value in the most unexpected places. Every year, the U.S. Mint strikes billions of coins, and yet only a handful of them come out with the kind of defects that make them priceless. These mistakes might seem small, an extra line, a misplaced letter, a doubled feature, but to the trained eye of a numismatist, they represent windows into history, moments when the precision of modern minting momentarily faltered and produced something truly unique. That uniqueness, paired with excellent condition and collector enthusiasm, is what transforms a coin from spare change into a $1,000,000 masterpiece. If you ever come across a shiny 1998 penny, don't dismiss it. Take a close look at every detail. Examine the lettering, the date, the mint mark, the spacing on the reverse, and the overall strike quality. Who knows, you might just be holding one of the rarest modern coins in American history. Even coins with smaller errors from that year are worth investigating, as collectors often pay top dollar for coins showing unique die wear or striking anomalies. Some examples sold at auction for tens of thousands simply because they were exceptionally preserved or displayed sharp proof-like qualities uncommon for Denver Mint issues. The excitement around the 1998 penny has continued to grow over the years as more people learn about its story through online auctions, collector forums, and news features about rare coins found in ordinary circulation. It has become a symbol of how tiny imperfections in the minting process can lead to massive rewards for those who pay attention. Every collector dreams of that one incredible find, the coin that changes everything, and for many, the 1998 D1 cent has become that dream. So, keep searching, keep learning, and keep exploring your change because the next $1,000,000 penny might just be waiting in your pocket. A humble piece of American history turned into a fortune by the rare and beautiful errors that make it one of the most extraordinary coins ever struck. Next, 1988 1-cent USA coin. Today we dive into one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern numismatics, a coin that has shocked collectors and experts alike. A 1988 Lincoln 1 cent that's said to be worth an incredible $8 million because of its rare and mysterious errors that make it a true treasure in the world of coin collecting. Imagine holding in your hand a common-looking penny from 1988, something most people would overlook or spend without a thought, only to discover that this very coin hides secrets from the U.S. Mint that have turned it into one of the most sought-after and valuable cents ever found. The 1988 1-cent coin, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, may look ordinary at first glance, but it's what lies within the smallest details, errors, anomalies, and minting mistakes that separate the extraordinary from the everyday. Collectors across the world have become obsessed with this coin, trying to uncover what exactly went wrong during its production, and how those tiny imperfections created a piece worth millions. One of the most talked about errors linked to the 1988 penny is the 1988 double die obverse, where the details on the coin's front show clear signs of doubling caused by misalignment during the die creation process. Under magnification, sharp eyes can notice that the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as parts of Lincoln's portrait, display doubling or overlapping impressions, making the coin look as though it has a shadowed outline. This kind of error happens when the die, the tool used to strike the design onto blank planchets, receives more than one misaligned impression from the master hub. This might sound like a small technical mistake, but in numismatics, it's one of the most exciting things that can happen, as each double die represents a unique and limited occurrence, with only a handful of examples ever escaping the mint. But the 1988 penny doesn't stop there. Another spectacular discovery is the 1988 with 1989 reverse variety, also known as the transitional reverse error. This error happened because, during the mint's transition from 1988 to 1989, the design on the reverse side of the coin, the Lincoln Memorial, was updated, particularly in the small details of the designer's initials, FG, which stand for Frank Gasparo. On the 1988 transitional coin, The reverse design actually belongs to the 1989 issue, creating a one-year crossover that shouldn't exist. This mix-up occurred when a 1989 reverse die was accidentally paired with a 1988 obverse die, resulting in a coin that bridges two different production years. It's a subtle detail, but for coin experts, spotting the 1989 reverse on a 1988 coin means identifying one of the rarest Lincoln cent varieties of the modern era. The normal 1988 penny has a bold FG with clear separation between the initials and the memorial, while the 1989 reverse shows a closer, more compact style. Because this change was never meant to appear until the following year, only a few transitional errors escaped quality control, and those that did are now worth astronomical amounts. In pristine condition, examples of this variety have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and if combined with additional striking or die errors, the theoretical value could skyrocket, explaining why a near-perfect, uncirculated example with both major errors could be valued around $8 million in private sales or collector estimates. Imagine the thrill of finding such a coin in your pocket change, a piece that appears common but holds the potential to change your life. Minting mistakes are often the product of complex machinery and human oversight working at extreme speeds. Millions of coins are produced daily, and just one slight misalignment or die replacement error can create a 1 in a billion collectible. In 1988, the U.S. Mint was operating with both old and new dies as it prepared for the next year's coinage, and that overlap likely caused several fascinating mistakes to occur. Beyond the double die and transitional reverse, collectors have also identified minor die cracks, die chips, and off-center strikes among 1988 pennies, all of which add to their appeal. Some specimens exhibit weak strikes where parts of the design didn't fully transfer due to worn dies or insufficient striking pressure, while others show misaligned dies that cause the entire image to appear slightly off-center. There are even examples where the zinc core of the coin shows through the copper plating, creating strange discolorations or patches on the surface. Since the 1988 penny was produced using a copper-plated zinc composition introduced in 1982, plating errors were relatively common during the decade, leading to coins with blistered surfaces, missing layers, or bubbles under the copper coat. These types of defects are fascinating to collectors because they represent the technical imperfections that make each coin unique, a snapshot of a brief moment when the mint's precision faltered. However, the reason one particular 1988 penny reached the $8 million valuation is due to the combination of multiple rare features, near-perfect preservation, and the intense demand from collectors who understand just how statistically improbable it is for all these factors to align. Auction houses and private investors have shown growing interest in rare modern pennies over the past few years, especially those with transitional features or dramatic doubling, since they symbolize the blend of art, history, and mechanical chance that defines coin collecting. When a coin like this appears, it often becomes a centerpiece of major numismatic events, drawing bids from wealthy collectors, museums, and institutions eager to own a piece of minting history. The fact that this coin was struck more than 3 decades ago and yet managed to survive in such remarkable condition adds even more to its mystique, as most pennies endure heavy circulation, scratches, and wear. To find a mint state or proof-like specimen with such exceptional errors is beyond rare. It's almost mythical. Enthusiasts around the world are now re-examining their 1988 pennies, checking for the tiniest details that could signal one of these valuable mistakes. It serves as a powerful reminder that treasure can still be found in the most unexpected places, even in everyday pocket change. The 1988 1 cent worth $8 million stands as proof that minting errors, once dismissed as minor curiosities, can transform into legendary pieces that captivate generations. Each element, the double die, the transitional reverse, the misaligned details, and the rare survival in top grade, tells a story of how even the most precise systems can produce unintentional masterpieces. For collectors, the hunt for such coins isn't just about money but about the thrill of discovery, the excitement of connecting history, craftsmanship, and luck. The 1988 Lincoln cent embodies the beauty of imperfection, showing that one small mistake can create a coin more valuable than gold itself. So next time you receive a handful of pennies and change, take a closer look at each one, because you never know. There might be an $8 million treasure waiting in your palm, a coin that has defied time, production standards, and probability to become one of the greatest modern numismatic legends ever recorded. Last 2005 1-cent USA coin. The ultimate destination for everyone who loves discovering the hidden treasures hiding in their pocket change. And today we're diving into one of the most shocking and unbelievable stories in modern coin collecting. The tale of the 2005 1-cent coin that's reportedly worth a staggering $6 million because of its rare and mind-bending mint errors and production mistakes that make this small copper-plated zinc coin a true legend among collectors and investors alike. A story that reminds us that sometimes the tiniest details in minting can create a piece of numismatic history worth more than gold itself. Imagine holding a simple 2005 Lincoln penny, something most people toss into jars or leave behind on countertops, only to find out that the same date and mint mark could hide one of the most elusive and valuable error coins ever discovered. The 2005 Lincoln cent, featuring the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner and the Lincoln Memorial reverse by Frank Casparo, seems ordinary at first glance, but beneath that thin copper plating lies a world of possible variations: die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, wrong planchets, and misaligned designs that have pushed some examples into the multi-million-dollar category, turning a coin meant to be worth just 1 cent into a jaw-dropping treasure worth $6 million. The 2005 penny is especially fascinating because it was struck during a period when the U.S. Mint was transitioning and experimenting with different die setups and plating methods, and that environment sometimes allowed small mistakes to slip through quality control, creating coins with unique characteristics that collectors now pay huge amounts to own. One of the most famous 2005 penny errors involves a dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile, the word Liberty, and the date 2005 appear slightly doubled under magnification, giving the coin an eerie shadow effect that proves it was struck twice or that the die shifted during production. Such doubling errors are not only visually striking but also extremely rare, and when a strong example is perfectly preserved in mint state condition, it can command prices far beyond what anyone would expect from a modern cent. But that's not all. The 2005 penny also has examples of off-center strikes, where the design is visibly misplaced because the planchet wasn't properly aligned during minting, leading to coins where part of Lincoln's head or parts of the reverse design are missing entirely. The more off-center the coin, especially if it still shows a full date and mint mark, the higher its value tends to climb, and in extreme cases, these have been valued in the thousands or even tens of thousands. However, what makes the $6 million specimen so extraordinary is the possibility that it was struck on a completely wrong planchet, perhaps a blank mint for a dime, a foreign coin, or even a transitional metal composition that slipped through the presses unnoticed. Imagine a 2005 penny weighing less than normal or having a silvery tone instead of copper, leading experts to suspect a rare mint blunder that only happens once in decades. When these hybrid or off-metal strikes are authenticated by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, they immediately become the centerpiece of major auctions, drawing fierce bidding wars from collectors who know how truly unique such a mistake is. Some 2005 cents have also been reported with dramatic die cracks, where lines or raised ridges appear across Lincoln's portrait, giving the appearance of a lightning bolt or scar on the surface. These die cracks, cuds, and die breaks form when the minting dies deteriorate over time, creating raised, uneven metal flow that adds character and uniqueness to each coin. And while small cracks might only bring modest premiums, massive retained cuds or rim breaks can raise values into the thousands. Another class of 2005 penny errors involves misaligned dies, where one side of the coin appears rotated or slightly off from the other side, creating a subtle but unmistakable deviation from normal alignment. Collectors who specialize in rotational errors seek out these unusual alignments, and certain examples with precise degrees of rotation have sold for eye-popping sums. Even more fascinating are the transitional errors that experts believe occurred when leftover blanks from previous years were accidentally used, or when new die preparation experiments led to differences in strike pressure, planchet thickness, or copper layering, creating a unique visual appearance under magnification. Some 2005 pennies have also been reported with partial collar strikes, giving them a railroad rim appearance where the edge looks like train tracks, a result of improper collar engagement during striking. Each of these anomalies represents a rare and valuable opportunity, and when combined, they make the 2005 penny one of the most diverse and exciting years for modern Lincoln cent error collecting. The $6 million valuation comes from a perfect storm of rarity, condition, demand, and story, because not only is the error itself unique, but its preservation in flawless condition amplifies its desirability. Graded at the highest possible mint state or proof-like level, with documented authenticity and provenance, such a coin becomes a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that museum curators, private investors, and elite collectors would fight to own. The intrigue around the 2005 penny also grows from its historical timing. It came right before the mint began the redesigns for the Lincoln bicentennial cents in 2009, meaning this era marked the end of decades of the same Lincoln Memorial reverse design, giving these coins additional nostalgic and transitional significance. It's also possible that some of these error coins were created at different mints like Denver or Philadelphia, and subtle variations between mint marks, such as die polishing lines, mint mark placement, or strength of strike, can lead to premium values among specialists who study micro details. The surface condition, luster, and even the tone or color of a 2005 penny can also affect its desirability, with deep red uncirculated examples commanding higher grades and therefore much higher prices. Over time, as stories spread of these multimillion-dollar finds, more and more people began checking their jars, rolls, and circulation change for 2005 pennies with anything unusual, whether it's a doubled image, a weird rim, strange texture, off-metal look, or lighter weight than normal. Some even discovered that their coin had die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly mirror images of the opposite design faintly imprinted across the coin's surface, a phenomenon that both fascinates and mystifies collectors. When one of these coins with multiple overlapping errors, say a double die, off-metal, and off-center strike all in one, appears and is authenticated, its price skyrockets beyond comprehension, sometimes reaching figures like $6 million not just for the material rarity, but for its unmatched combination of minting mistakes and perfect timing. Such coins become instant legends in the hobby, often featured in numismatic publications and auction house headlines. The fascination with the 2005 penny also reflects a deeper truth about coin collecting. It's not just about owning precious metal or old designs, but about appreciating the unintentional artistry and historical quirks that happen when human hands and industrial machinery intersect. Every mint error tells a story of a split-second mechanical slip, a vibration too strong, a planchet slightly misplaced, or a die that wore down too soon. And because each error coin is unique, no two are ever exactly alike, which fuels the imagination and excitement of collectors around the world. So when you hear that a 2005 1-cent coin has been valued at $6 million. It's not an exaggeration, but a reflection of how unpredictable and magical the world of minting can be. Every day, someone might unknowingly carry such a treasure in their pocket or roll, and that's what keeps the thrill of coin hunting alive. So the next time you pick up a 2005 penny, take a closer look under good light, maybe with a magnifying glass, and check for those telltale signs of rarity: doubling, off-centering, unusual metal color, cracks, die marks, or misaligned designs, because you might just be holding a multi-million-dollar mistake that changed coin history forever.